The winning numbers for the evening draw of Tuesday, 8th June 2021 were tic-tac-toe, 5, 6, 11, 13, 14, 17, 18, Big 4, 0, 3, 0, 3, Big 4 multi-X, 2X, Pick 2, 4, 1, Pick 2 multi-X, 2X, 1 off, 5, 4, 0, Lucky 3, 8, 9, 8, Super 6, 6, 11, 14, 15, 19, 27, free ticket letter N.
You're watching MBC. Watching MBC.
Protocols for international visitors while in St. Lucia. The following protocols are established to guide the stay of all guests while on island in order to mitigate any possible spread of infection. During the first 14 days, visitors are allowed to patronize approved beaches, restaurant, sea and land excursions, and sites and attractions. All visits are scheduled and pre-arranged by their respective accommodation providers. During this period, all visitors will be transported to and from the certified sites using only COVID-19 certified tourism transportation. After the first 14 days, if any visitor wishes to stay on island beyond the 14-day period, they must apply for and receive a health clearance certificate from the Ministry of Health. Visitors will be allowed to travel, be out in the wider public and patronize local businesses unsupervised once health clearance certificates have been received. During their entire stay, visitors must wear their mask whenever they are in public places and maintain the mandatory 6 feet distancing from others.
You're watching MBC.
Good night, St. Lucia, and welcome to another episode of Police Insight. I am your host, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. I'd like to say good night to our Police Commissioner, Mr. Milton Daisy. Good night to our deputies, Mr. Wayne Shalry, Ms. Spelius. How you guys doing? Good night to our ACPs, all Gazette officers, inspectors, sergeants, corporals, both constables, both senior and junior, special police constables, special reserve officers. Good night to you. City police, how you doing? Good night to you. Ex-police officers, those who have moved on, thank you so much for the service you've given to your country. Our brothers and sisters in law enforcement around the island, Bodley Correctional Facility, Customs, Fire Service Department, Port Police, good night to you. All security officers, whether you're stationed at a private entity or government entity, good night to you. And those of you currently watching us on MBC television, we're live. This is where you tell a friend to tell a friend that Police Insight is on. Tonight we have an open mic. A lot has been happening. Also the campaigning has been heating up in the country, as you know, as we gear up for elections, still waiting for when the date shall be announced. I'd like to say all of you also who are currently logged into the Facebook platform, good night to you. Victor C. Anthony, I see you there already. Good night to you, my brother. Always supporting the show, always supporting the police. You know, I've been dealing with, I don't know, I think, ladies and gentlemen, I might have to eventually see a doctor. I find that there are times that I'm becoming a little too hoarse, like, you know, too much times. I don't know why. I don't know if it's whatever is bothering me, or if it is something that I'm not doing or something that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. So tonight it's an open mic. The lines are going to be opened early. 4533911, 4533911. I want to hear from you. What's bothering you? What's on your mind? What you'd like to share? What's your contribution? By all means, my organization, my colleagues, the executive of the organization is always listening. So through this medium, we could always get the opportunity to hear certain things that are bothering you, especially in the past couple of days. There's a lot happening around the island. I see so many different videos and clips of adults who, in all fairness, should know better. They're really acting, but hey, that's part of it. That's human nature. They say once a man, twice a child. Sometimes you have to wonder if it's 4 or 5 times a child. But it's okay. The organization is there to do what it's supposed to do. I always want to remind people that if you ever have information, I know there's always this perception out there that people cannot trust the police, if you want to generalize it that way, or sometimes people cannot trust certain police officers. But we do have a crime hotline. It is 452-7643. I repeat again, 452-7643. You could always call this toll-free number that is operating around the clock if you have information that you wish to pass on to the organization, especially in terms of crime fighting. Let's see there. Good night to you, Mr. Stanislas Albert. How you doing, sir? Good night to you, Manny Vig. One thing, you know, my people in the Facebook streaming chat are always there, and I will get to your comments momentarily. Excellent, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, also you could WhatsApp me 7200401, 7200401. Have a little bit of an announcement, because tomorrow, the men and the women in the blue stripe, yes, our special police constables will be celebrating 26 years in existence. 26 years ago, the organization initiated the rank of special police constable. Yes, our people that you see, the black ones and the blue stripes, and they have been such an amazing addition to the organization. As a matter of fact, they do everything we do. Okay, and tomorrow, they were established on June 9th, 1995. And according to Section 58 of the Police Act, every special police constable enjoys the immunities, authorities, and powers and advantages of that of a regular police officer. But there's a bit of history for you, especially for you, my colleagues, who might not know. On June 9th, 1995, the very first, we call them the original six. The original six, the very first 6 individuals appointed to be special police constables on June 9th, 1995. And I have their names here. So I'm going to call it out now. So that's a bit of educational history for especially my colleagues and also the viewers listening. So the first individual was Special Police Constable number 1, Hamish Paul. Hamish Paul is retired now. Mr. Paul, thank you for your service. Number 2, Special Police Constable 2, Emilianus Severin. Emilianus Severin, that was SPC 2. SPC, Special Police Constable number 3, Peter DeMille. DeMille, my brother, I never knew. I never knew. When I come for some fuel, I'm going to have a serious debate with you, my brother. SPC 3, Peter DeMille. Number 4, SPC 4 was Calvin Louis, and he's deceased. So to the family and friends of those who remember our soldier, you know, we keep him in our prayers and in our memories. SPC 4, Calvin Louis. Number 5, SPC 5, Cornelius Charles. Cornelius Charles, SPC 5, Cornelius Charles. He is retired, and the last, you'll never believe it, some of you might not know, is SPC 6, Stanislaus Albert, who's currently a regular police officer and the current public relations officer of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. It was just recently he was on the show representing the RIT department, and he did an excellent job in educating the public in terms of what the RIT department does, protection orders and stuff like that. So Mr. Stanislaus Albert, SPC 6, and some might say, but yes, Stanley, I look that old. My brother, thank you for the information. He was the one who informed me that tomorrow, 26 years of existence, I'm hoping somehow the organization recognizes this this amazing feat. So just checking up on some statements there. Let's see. Dennis Charles, good night to you, sir. And his statement is, I would like to know why the police force are being used as a political tool. I don't know how the organization is being used as a political tool, sorry, Mr. Charles. Maybe you could elaborate. Political tool, I don't know. You see, I've been in the organization for a while. We'll be 26 years this year. And every time we come to this particular time, what we have dubbed the silly season, we get this all the time. Okay, it's not new. And we will continue to get such comments and such perceptions or observations. What I could say is our members, or especially around this time, we need to try our best to stay away as much as possible, not really from politics, because politics governs us, politics affects us, politics, you cannot run away from it. And also, we are citizens of the state. Police officers vote. We vote first. You understand? So that is understandable that as a human being, you have police officers who always have preferences, especially among the two major political parties. Now we have, I think, at least 3, yeah? And but what we need to remember as police officers is to continue to do our work with integrity and professionalism, and also within the ambits of the law, within the law, the parameters of the law. And you will get, depending on who you're interacting with, especially if the individual is seen through a particular colored lens, you will have individuals who will even accuse you. Oh, you are cautioning me, or you are dealing this way with me just because you don't like my party, so you must be part of the other party. We've seen it before, we've heard it before, and this is going to intensify, especially when the Prime Minister finally lets us know the date of election, and then I'm sure there's going to be some new protocols involved, because you know we're still dealing with a pandemic. So we'll have some protocols involved in terms of the campaigning and whatnot, and how it's going to turn out. If we're going to have rallies, will there be a particular number? Is it even possible to have a particular number, knowing very well that when it comes to election time, our citizenry is so charged up, there's so much emotions involved. So we just need to do our work within the laws, the parameters of the laws, having integrity and professionalism, using discretion where discretion is needed, but enforcing the law when you have to. And you put your notes in the diary. You put your notes where you have to put your notes. Do what you got to do and do your work. This is where, in the silly season, this is where we must show a lot of restraint. We must show a lot of discretion. We must use a lot of experience. And sometimes we need to call on each other for advice. If there's a particular situation, do not let your emotion get to you. You know, so you have a particular supporter, you know, screaming in your face, "You are late by your flubbo." Don't let what is expected around this time to get to you. You stay calm and you do your work and you do what you have to do. But I don't know how the police force is being used as a political tool. And what does that actually mean, political tool? Because the organization has to work with the citizenry, the government of the day, whatever the case may be. And when you look at government, government entails the ruling party and the opposition party. We do what we have to do. Okay, so I don't know, Mr. Charles, if maybe you could probably clarify. And there we go again. Sometimes technology. Okay, so let's continue. Let me see if I have any other. Good evening, Zachary. What bothers me is the lack of traffic police officers on our roads, especially during the rush hour. And that is an excellent observation, Manny Vig. Yeah, there is no doubt that the organization has been dealing with lack of resource, especially when it comes to that of the human resource department. You know, there are different studies. We've had different police commissioners who have made public utterances as to what they believe should be the proper ratio when it comes to a police for whatever amount of citizen. But I know that the traffic officers are stretched. I know they try their best. We're not able to see what we would like to see, which would be on every highway or byway. We would like to see a police officer, whether on a bike or standing in uniform, trying to assist the motoring public, and also trying to ensure that our road networks is very safe. I know for sure our executive trying so many different strategies, so many different ways to use the limited resources at their disposal to ensure that we give at least the perception that the police is there, that we're there on the roads, trying our best to assist in curtailing road traffic incidents, etc. But we try our best with what we have. We try our best with what you have, Manivig. So, especially during the rush hour, you know, early morning is ridiculous, and late in the evening, I mean, well, 4:35-ish, 5:30, I know how you guys feel. I am stuck in it also, right there with you. It is horrible. But you know, we ourselves, we drivers, there are so many other things that we could do. You know, there are times, have you ever realized, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you're stuck in a queue of traffic, you know, and then you're wondering to yourself, I wonder if there's an accident somewhere high up on the road. And only whilst you're driving, keep on driving, and then eventually you just see a clearing. There's no obstruction whatsoever. There's no accident. Sometimes, you know, people are curious, you know, or maybe very cautious, which is good, because it has been proven that speed is a major contributor to a lot of road traffic accidents. So, you know, it's a balancing act. You know, sometimes we want to get to where we're going very quickly, and we wish there was no backup of traffic and stuff like that. But sometimes when the roads are very clear, we now have individuals deciding to speed up where they're not supposed to speed up, drive carelessly along the road, don't take any heed to other road users. And you know something, people, as we're on that, do we have our first call? Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Good evening, Sergeant T. Police. How are you?
Good evening, buddy. I'm fine. Thank you for calling. What's bothering you? Talk to me.
You just read a message I think it's from your WhatsApp platform?
The Facebook chat. I've been reading from the Facebook platform, yes.
Someone said that the organization has been used as a political tool or something of that sort.
Yeah, that's what they commented. What do you think?
Well, it's glaring. It's there for all of us to see that how members of the opposition are treated and members of the current administration are treated. Because
oh, is that so? Give me an example, please.
Examples. There was they made some arrests during the homecoming for Jeremiah Norbert, and you know, a lot of things that some Labour supporters, well, I think they are Labour supporters, but a lot of things that they do, such as the rallies that they had, and parties people attended, motorcades that were attended, and so many other things. And we've heard of arrests of those things, but when you have the Prime Minister, our National Security Minister attending a party, I think parties are prohibited. They're not setting an example. You don't hear of any arrest of those people. You don't hear the executive or the administration or our commissioner
coming out to say something.
Coming out to say anything about what I suppose his bosses are doing.
Well, caller, you're not the only one who has that perception. Even just before that was just earlier this afternoon, because I always listen to the different talk shows to get a feel of what's going on. And there are different individuals, different talk shows who are saying the same thing in terms of they want to hear a little more from our police commissioner when certain things arrive that could give a perception that the police force or some members of the police force are leaning or not doing what they're supposed to do in terms of being impartial in carrying out their duties. So I'm sure the boss is listening, and I've heard it on other talk shows. People want to hear the boss, so I guess the boss will eventually come out and say something to
I'm sure you yourself have seen those videos of the Prime Minister, the National Security Minister, members of the ruling party. I'm sure you've seen those videos all over social media of those people breaking protocols. You don't have any arrest or any news conference or any press release condemning those actions from those people. You don't have such, but the moment that it is believed that a Labour supporter does something in terms of breaking protocols, you have so many arrests.
Well, I for one, yes, I've seen videos on both sides, and like I said, you know, the organization should always do whatever it can to give the impression or the perception that we are not biased when it comes to enforcing protocols and whatnot. And I know the police commissioner is listening. There's pressure mounting from persons like yourself and other individuals on social media, and whether it is true or not, our organization needs to at least say something on it. So yes, you're correct.
So we are with, so Mr. Commissioner, if you're listening, we are with your response or your input on those issues. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Thank you so much for calling Police Insight. Yes, our commissioner is always listening. You know, Ms. Pelius, Mr. Shalry, the rest of the executive, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Nicholas. I know they usually tuned in and they're listening. And I'd like to say good night also to the officers down in the south. Officer in charge, Southern Division, Mr. James, how are you doing? Up north, we have Mr. Elvis Thomas, you know, and especially the Central Police Station, where I'm currently attached, Community Relations Branch. I'd like to say good night to Mr. Alsey. How are you doing, sir? And also Inspector Poyot, good night to you all. And like I was saying earlier, people, it's the silly season. We've heard it before. And you know something? You know, the caller who called earlier, it's his perception, and no one could take that away from him. Every single time, and like I said, even when, okay, let's say we all know it's floor-born labor. Okay, so when the Labour Party was in power, you had the very same thing, that it appears that the organization is showing some biasness, because when the opposition back then, which was the United Workers Party, when they were in power, you know, you heard that persons were being challenged, etc., etc., nothing is happening. But he's correct. The perception exists. Nothing is wrong with the head of our organization coming out, making a statement, so at least, you know, persons could make an informed decision for themselves in reference to what he says. Let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Yes, sorry to disturb you about that, but
you are not disturbing. I'm happy you called. Talk to me.
No, what I'm saying is it's for another forum, but I've tried so many and I'm not getting through, so I will just use your medium.
Okay, talk to me.
To see, because I just don't understand why we should have that kind, such a lovely food court on opposite the Bank of St. Lucia.
Which area are you talking about?
In Grizzly.
Oh yes.
And up to this day, there is no toilet facility. This is a shame, and it is great. I've tried calling so many mediums and I'm not getting through, so I just tried to use yours because I realized it's an open forum, and I decided, well, let me try and I get through.
You know, some people will say, caller, that, you know, it's a place where people are supposed to be probably just taking something on go, but you're correct, because there might be a queue, someone might be waiting to get served, and they might want to use the washroom, and it's a public place, so there should be a public facility that people could use.
I think it would have been the first thing in place, honestly.
Yes,
so
yes.
much concrete in the place there.
A lot of concrete. Yeah, a lot of concrete.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Give jacket, it's beautiful. But when it comes to food, and in this COVID time, when they ask you to wash your hands,
true,
sanitize,
true,
and you have people dealing with food, and you're telling me that there is no washroom facility there for months now? No, there is nothing. No one could tell me about that, because it's unbelievable. I just don't understand it. Yeah. You're coming from town, you go into your house, cafe, state, wherever. And even these people, if they have to use the washroom while they're there, because don't forget it's a day, where do they go? What do they use? Where do they go? In the bushes? You're right. The employees, those who are working there, you are so correct. Even the owners. Even the owners. Yeah. I mean, come on, the bank is there. You can't go in the bank and tell them you want to use their washroom. The supermarket is there, which is the petrol station. You can't go there and tell them that all the time. You go to Marine House, you still cannot just go there, ask to use their washroom if you don't you don't partake in at least buying a drink or water or something. The other restaurant on the other side, you just cannot do that. So I hope whoever, I hope they're listening, and it's absurd, and that's on. We just should not accept that. Period. These things, you put things in place and you do what you got to do. Toilet facility, washroom. That is why I have a problem with the KFC at Rodney B. Yeah. Just the same. You got to go upstairs, right? Just a sink to wash your hands, at least. You got to go upstairs, and if there's a queue, you have to take the queue, and you come on, man. We're working backwards. It's not nice. Thank you very much for listening. Anytime. I'm sorry about that. No, don't apologize. But I hope they hear me. Yeah, I hope they hear you too. Yeah, months. Yeah. Months. And the toilet is not too expensive to just put up there, man. Yeah. No water, no. I agree. Bye. Thank you. Take care. Thank you for calling Police Insight. NBC's Police Insight. And this caller is so correct, you know, and we have
We have individuals that are not even that healthy, and you know, sometimes you want to stop there in the food court for a while, get something quick to eat, and then nature calls. What happens? You know, so the authorities were listening, those responsible, parliamentary rep of Grizzly, etc. Yes, this is important. We should have a food court. Let me just check the WhatsApp texting platform. It's already 9:02. We're going to take a short break in a while. Okay, well, let's take that break now, Shane, and then we're going to come back to continue the show. Stay tuned.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete, so fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Dermaclinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Dermaclinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Street party se jou sa la. Pa ni l'argent encore. Si nous tous prenons responsabilité et faire ça nous ni pour faire. bagay la kay marché et nous tout kay manger. En nous tirer la peine nous kay danser encore.
Wear a mask, hands and maintain
You're watching MBC.
Welcome back to Police Insight. Your host here, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte, and tonight you have an open mic night. The lines are open, 4533911. WhatsApp me on 7200401. I'll say it again, 7200401. I want to hear from you. What's bothering you? We have a call on the line. Let's take that call. Good night, caller. Good night, caller.
Yes, good night.
Talk to me.
Mr. Zachary.
Yay.
I have a social concern which I believe that it's toxic in the police force. Recently, we saw a lawyer's letter surfacing where a police officer has a credit of $22,000 in gambling. We know about the addiction of gambling, and we know how tempting that can be when you're addicted. What the police force is going to do, I'm not pointing at this particular officer.
Yeah.
But I know that there are lots of police officers that are addicted to gambling.
Yes.
And this is detrimental to the force. What is the institution going to do to rehabilitate these people? Because this could compromise the force seriously, and hamper the process of the police force when it comes to intelligence, fighting crime, and all the above, because somebody could be compromised based on the addiction. And if we use the word addiction, we know what we're talking about. And what is the police force going to do to rehabilitate and to look inside, internal, and don't cast a blind eye to what is going on there, because that is serious. And I'm concerned as a nationalist. I'm concerned, my brother. I listen to you on the air.
Thank you so much, caller. Yes, it's a problem, and he's correct. No one should turn a blind eye to it. I know for sure that I was a member of the Police Welfare Association, and there was strides being made in terms of addressing that issue when it comes to not just gambling. Some of our members, through certain circumstances, choices, have found themselves in situations where the take-home pay is not that good, and also those who have a fair amount of take-home pay, as he suggested, engage in certain activities such as gambling that could have a very, very serious effect personally and professionally. I know that the Police Welfare Association is looking into this. The President, Travis Chico, is very concerned about this, and he will be beginning reaching out to certain stakeholders, caller, in reference to trying to get to the minds of these police officers with the aim at rehabilitation in terms of such habits. So thank you for your contribution, and I know the Police Commission, the executive, has listened. Yes, let's take that call. Good night, caller. Thank you for calling Police Insight.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, sir. Let me hear from you. I'm not hearing you. Can you speak a little louder? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Talk to me.
I'm saying it is high time we pass legislation that the post of commissioner, director of corrections, fire chief, is legislated whereby that they have to go before a panel.
A panel?
In the case why they should be commissioner or director of fire chief. Because it is high time we start a puppet thing of HODs being puppets of the government.
So you're saying that the current where we have the Public Service Commission choosing those people, you say it's not working for you?
It's glaring, you know. It's glaring, it's factual. You can see that. But my point is, I'm not hitting anybody. I'm saying that ought to be done so we get a more versatile police force.
Okay.
Without any preferences. Now, secondly, there is a procedure with summons to defendant. There's a form that the police use, summons to defendant. In the case of, say, Joaquin Henry, I believe that thing of asking him to report himself and to be arrested or whatever, that could be avoided. You just summons them to court. It's a simple procedure. When you're embarrassment and all that Halifax will come afterwards. Just summons them and use the form. What prevents them from using the form, summons to defendant, and have him come before the court? He will come before the court when they get the summons. You get the point?
I get your point, caller.
Yeah, it's relatively simple. Just summons them to court, let him come to court. He will appear, he must get it's a document of the court. Rather than calling him and telling him to report himself, he will be arrested and charged for it. The same thing is write the charge on the summons to defendant form and a charge sheet. And he's okay to go. Good night.
Good night, caller. Thank you so much. Shane, let's just play that little video quickly, where I believe it is an elderly individual, not sure it's the father, instructing the youth, an individual on I don't know, the different modes of human killing. Let's just listen to that video quickly.
A man commits suicide at his home? How can a man commit suicide at his home? It's supposed to be a homicide. He died at his home. A suicide, it's when a Suwi kill itself, a mouse kill itself. And I know fellas dying, they say COPD, but really and truly it's something called weedicide. They're taking too much weed. Now if you take your own life, it can't be suicide, it's I decide.
There's a little bit of humor there. Let's take that call, Shane. Low down on your volume, caller. I could hear the feedback through the phones. Low down on your volume of your device or your TV before you speak to me. I could hear myself.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Talk to me.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, I'm just giving you a little word of advice as an ex-constable.
Yes.
I realize every time the officers come on a scene, they always have their revolving lights on. And I don't think this is a good gesture, because by the time they arrive on the scene, whoever is creating the problem or has committed the crime, by the time they arrive, they are already gone in hiding.
Okay.
So I think I would ask you if they would try to put these lights off a little when they are coming really on the scene. I think this would help them a little more.
Thank you, caller.
This is my take on your police info for tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. And for those of you who realize, the crime hotline is up on the screen. It's 4527643. Let's take in some of the messages. Someone here is saying, what's the verdict? And I'm reading it as it is, once it's not disrespectful. What's the verdict on the container of drugs found on the premises in a local business operation? Yes, hopefully we'll hear about that. The executive is tuned in. Someone says an officer who killed an unsound mind individual in Gallet. Is the investigation still going on? Yes, the investigation is still going on. The person asks why, because the investigation is still going on. Let's see. Good night, JD Fide. Angela Hippoly, good night to you. Stephanie Cauldron. Okay, the WhatsApp number 72000401. Someone says, Demir, I'm coming for my drink tomorrow. Let's see what else we have here. Someone says all the Caribbean islands have become political tools. Blessed evening, Mr. Hippolyte. Greetings, listeners and viewers. Blessed evening to you, Mr. Robert Victor. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, lots of Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte, is the investigation still going on the Kimberly DeLeo case? How long again? Yes, the investigations is still going on. Viewer, the bias is glaring. Lots of comments. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Let me check WhatsApp now. Let's see what we have on the WhatsApp texting platform. You have to give everybody an opportunity. Good evening, Sergeant Hippolyte. Shout out to Sergeant George of the SSU, Sergeant Shalmine and Corporal Harrison of the Grosley Police Station. I like to big up my former stations, Grosley and Rodney Bay Police Station. Good night to everyone. Let's take that call. Good night, caller. Welcome to Police Insight. What's on your mind?
Hi, good night, Sergeant Hippolyte.
Good night.
I just want to make mention of the virtual event that took place on Sunday from 6 to 8.
Oh yes.
The extempo challenge, anti-crime and violence, safety and community development. I just want to publicly commend all the organizers and participants.
That's now is I think you sound a little muffled. I don't know if you
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, I really want to congratulate all those who were part of this initiative, from its conception, coming from the community relations branch to the organizers, the participants, their parents. I mean, it was very, very well received. I have gotten so many messages from people here in St. Lucia, from overseas, who were tuned in, despite the fact that it competed with two political events that were
yes,
almost at the same time.
So true. I was worried about viewership, but it was well received.
It certainly was. And
yeah.
It speaks volumes for the approach from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force with regards to looking at the issues of crime, violence, community development, etc. I think we had some very, very important messages coming from these youngsters. I'm hoping that all of this work that was put into this and the final videos, I pray that they can be used. In fact, I was hoping that you would have featured your favorite video tonight.
T-Boss, that was actually the case. The fact is, I was not even sure I was actually going to have the show, to be honest with you. But he will be featured, trust me, if not tonight, it will come.
Yeah, but you know, and but I just want to say that I think a lot of these messages can be used as public service announcements by various organizations. And as I said, it was a great initiative. And I think what comes out of this is that our young people have a lot to say. You know, there's a lot on their mind, there's a lot that they know, there's a lot that they can do, and we sometimes take our young people for granted. And so I'm happy that this initiative really brought to the fore their perceptions, their ideas, their solutions, etc. So I just wanted to make mention of that. But hats off to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force Community Relations Branch. I cannot leave without bigging up my co-host, Ms. Nisha Lubin, debut.
She was excellent.
As a hostess, she was excellent. She was wonderful. And I just want to say a special good night to herself, her husband, her family, and of course all of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. But I just want to let people know the initiative was well received. Thanks to Police Insight for promoting it on your program last week. All right, so thanks much, and I'm hoping that this is just a step in the right direction, and
yes,
there are other initiatives to follow.
Thank you, Isai Hall. Thank you so much for calling.
You take care.
Yeah, take care, my brother. The legend Isai Hall, extempo king. Oh yes, but yes, I will be getting those video clips, ladies and gentlemen. The show was amazing. The voices of the youth. You know, our youth have so much to say, and they sent it in extempo. And we also had some adults also. So there is no doubt about that. You will be hearing those performances on other episodes of Police Insight. We have another call. Let's take that call. Good night, caller. Low down on your device there. I hear myself.
Yeah, my device is low down. I'm just surprised that you didn't. I'm just a bit surprised that you made no comment on the statement that I did about the revolving light.
About the revolving what?
About the revolving light on the police van when they are approaching the crime scene.
Oh, but
I realized you didn't even make any comment regarding that.
Sorry.
Because I've realized a few things many times when the police is coming on the scene.
Yeah.
And they should be advised about the light of the revolving light on the van when approaching the crime scene.
Yes, you are correct, caller. You are correct. And sorry. Yeah, I know. I hope you don't think that it was any form of deliberate not saying anything on it. But yes, you are correct, caller. There are times where, though we do use the revolving lights in good intention, it can cause a perpetrator to flee the scene, because by all means you'd see these lights from afar. So we will be using it strategically, and our organization is listening, and we shall use it in strategic manners.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, caller. Yes, yes, no problem. You see, my viewers want to ensure that I engage them, and their contributions are very important. So yes, caller, yes, we are taking notes. Even if I don't respond right away, just know that the executive of the organization and many police officers are listening, and we will take into consideration what you have said. Okay. Someone sent me a video, Shane. I think a mother was disciplining, I assume that's her child. Can we just put that on the screen quickly, please? Let's check this out. Okay, I have something to say about this. Let's take this call. Good night, caller.
Good night again.
Good night. How you doing? Talk to me, buddy.
All right, sir. Question. In case we see many people on social media try to incite violence if the Prime Minister decides to call election, when it's if the Prime Minister decides not to call election when he's supposed to, you see many people incite violence on social media. Is the organization prepared or can deal with a riot if it were to happen or take place?
We are ready, caller.
Can you please give us some
I cannot give you full insight, but all I could tell you is that we are ready. Okay. The organization is ready. We are always scouring social media. We always been informed of certain comments, certain, because now on social media people are using it as they so choose, not realizing that they're not being responsible, and depending on what you could say, an individual could actually be influenced to act in a improper manner. But we are ready, caller, for any incident that could come up.
So also, is it a criminal offense to incite violence?
It's a criminal offense to incite violence, yes.
Say that again?
Yes, it is.
All right, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Yes, the organization is ready, and it shows to the testament of our men and women in the Royal St. Lucia Police Force that despite our limitations, despite our challenges, despite all what we're going through, equipment-wise, resources-wise, we are ready to take on any challenge. We are ready to deal with any situation that would arise. And let's not forget, some time ago, I had a show with Mr. Claudius Francis, and he stated, we were talking about the Elections Act, you know, and the procedures of voting and stuff like that. It was a good show. As a matter of fact, I hope to have a part 2 with Mr. Francis. And he stated that the St. Lucian politics, elections, when it comes to St. Lucia, has always been one of the best well-run elections in the region. Okay, in terms of security, I mean, you look at history, our elections have never been violent. That doesn't mean that one day it might not be, and we're ready. Even throughout the years gone, when we have always been peaceful during elections, the organization has always been ready, and will always be ready for the unforeseen circumstances. So we are ready, caller. Most of our people are peaceful, abiding people. On election day, we come out to vote. Polls open, we go to vote, we come back. When the polls are closed and the results are given, our Lucian people, those whose party has won, you know, the usual, do the rallies, do the motorcades, and then the next day we all supposed to wake up as St. Lucian people. So this has been the history. There's always a first time for everything, but I could tell you we are ready. Let me see what we have here. Now, the video. Let's play it one more time for me, Shane. Someone said to play it again. Let's play that video again. And there were lots of this video gathered lots of comments. When it comes to me, my opinion on this, it's just a very short clip. I'm not even sure how the child got into the ground. Mother looks very irritated, and when I looked at the comments, there are those who were saying, hey, you know, forgive the mother because she could be, whatever the case may be, very irritated, etc. And there are those that want to see that condemning her action, especially if she's the one who pushed the child onto the ground. Parents, we know how it is. It could be very frustrating. I'm a parent myself. Nothing is worse than the public shaming. The public shaming. And to make it worse, we now have the advent of social media. So now this video was recorded by an individual, and it has gone viral. You know, so we now have to look at the impact it will have on the mind on the child. Sometimes these circumstances is even more painful than the actual physical beating from the parent, knowing that there are individuals to see it, knowing that it was recorded, knowing that it will be shared and stuff like that. Parents, you know, you need to be a little more strategic. You need to be a little more tolerant with your child. You need to be a little more tolerant with your child. That child will grow up to be an adult, and they will not forget. And then when they're an adult, that's the time when you ourselves, we are going into that twilight where we're now getting old. Okay? Getting old. And then we will want somebody to take care of us. So in punishing, you know, there are those who don't punish at all. There are various modes of punishment. Okay? It's not about physical assault. Okay? You need to find ways to cope and tolerate and find out, you know, how you could reach your child. Okay, you could come to the community relations branch of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. We could assist you if you have a child that has deviant behavior and is what we say we're uncontrollable. You know, you could go to the Human Services Department. Okay, you could get assistance there. But to publicly shame the child like that, nah, I'm not happy about it at all. It's unacceptable. So we're going to take a break just now. Let me just check out the WhatsApp texting platform. Good night. Excuse me. Good night. Oh my goodness, people. Shane, I need to do something about that, you know. What's that? Good night. What is troubling me is some private vehicles with extra loud music shaking your house when they pass. What about the police band? Where do they rehearse? I miss hearing their instruments when passing. So there is a viewer saying they miss the police band, and I know the COVID pandemic has caused the organization to put all resources together, especially when it comes to enforcing the protocols. We are getting to the point where you will be hearing the police band again. I know there are certain discussions ongoing, especially with collaborating with my department, the community relations branch, where we can use the police band to go out into the communities, you know, and do certain performances, and at the same time speak to that of enforcing, you know, adhering to the protocols or whatnot. So, and also the vehicles with the loud noise, people, it's an offense. It is an offense. Those of you loud music enthusiasts, with the loud, you know, amplified music coming from your vehicles, and sometimes you'll take the most, I mean, there's no perfect time to do that, especially when you're driving through a residential area, you understand? But some of you, early mornings, late nights, during curfew hours, yeah, I've gotten the reports. The police, hopefully one day we will have a serious campaign in terms of noise pollution, noise abatement, etc., because it's really it's out of hand. It's out of hand. People need to understand that when you're going to play amplified music, there's a possibility you're going to annoy someone. I'll take a break soon and drink some water. You're going to annoy someone. There are people who work different shifts. There are individuals who just got home from work, and all they want to do is to take a little rest. And some of you guys, you know, you're not play music for yourself. Play the music for yourself. You're not in a competition. You're not in some loud music competition. And I know sometimes the police is very lenient and use a lot of discretion when it comes to people who play loud music indiscriminately without any form of permission from the office of the police commissioner. And most times you get a warning, but there comes a time, people, where we need to make an example of individuals, because there's this perception that they cannot be brought before the courts. And yes, you can be held before the courts for engaging in such behavior. So pass the word around. Those of you with the loud music on your vehicles, play the music for yourself. Go into an open field somewhere, and then you could play it a little louder for you and your friends, whatever the case may be. But stop driving through those residential areas. You know, some of your music is so powerful. You know, you could actually hear the cutlery rattling in your home. You guys need to stop that. And also, don't you know that you're actually causing long-term damage to your hearing? So you don't even care about yourself. Yeah, you need to stop that. Anyway, we're going to take a break. I'm going to take a drink of water. When we come back, we'll get to some more comments on the Facebook platform, on WhatsApp. Stay tuned to Police Insight.
Boost your commercial success with MBC TV and MBC Social. Don't look back. Invest in your advertising. Reach your target audience at peak times and off-peak times. We deliver strategically placed advertising spots at the most competitive rates. Also ask about our production services, which include television ad production, jingles, and documentaries designed to suit your business needs. We also deliver classified ads designed for land sales, job opportunities, and more. Advertise with MBC TV and MBC Social.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Aging gracefully is the hope for everyone. But when you age prematurely, most people think that something is wrong with you. The natural enzymes and building blocks in your skin start to deplete, so fine or deep lines and wrinkles appear, making you look much older than you really are. At Dermaclinic, we can help repair your skin and change the way you look in minutes. These treatments will make you look younger. At Dermaclinic, we treat all kinds of skin problems, such as facial lines, dark circles around the eyes, crow's feet, and frown lines, using all-natural hyaluronic acid filler. So maintain and improve your facial appearance. For more information, call 453-6417 or 485-9818.
Madras. Hey. Free second day. Boom. I like it. Crow.
Pani street party se jou sa la. Pani l'argent encore. Si nous tous prenons responsabilité et faire ça nous ni pour faire. Bagay la kay marché et nous tout kay manger. En nous tirer la peine nous kay danser encore.
Wear a mask. Wash your hands and maintain a 6 feet distance. If we keep St. Lucia safe, we can keep our economy running.
Welcome back to Police Insight. Your host there, Sergeant Zachary Hippolyte. Took a drink of water. I also turned off the AC. Very cold. I don't know. Maybe it's exaggerating what's going on with me. All right. So the number is 4533911, 4533911. 7200401, 7200401. Our hotline, crime hotline, is 452-7643, 452-7643. You could always call and give information anonymously. I'd like to say good night to the boss of this station, Dr. McDowell, and he's not happy about the video at all. the way the mother was dealing with her child there. He is one of those that just cannot understand or not understand, sorry. There's one of those that is condemning such a behavior. And you are right, sir. It's not proper at all. Not proper at all. It's something that we should not encourage. And especially when the public, these are the times the public need to intervene, not just when they see the police arresting someone. Let's take that call.
Hello.
Good night, caller. Thanks for calling.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. Holding on.
Good. I'm just about a protocol we have on the minibuses here. For example, I travel from the UK, St. Lucia, and the flight is full of people, right? And there is no 6 foot away. Everybody wear their mask, right? And for so long, over a year now, the minibus here suffered.
Yeah.
And they're not saying nothing about it for so long. I mean, if a government take away 4 people from you, government's supposed to be compensating you, you know? I mean, to me, a 5 minutes drive, especially to, let's say, from Castries to La Clery, that's a 5 minutes drive. And if everybody wearing the mask, to me, 5 minutes drive is nothing. So carrying 10 people every day for over a year. Now the minibus drivers have a case, and now they're quiet. They're not saying nothing, you know. So I think they're just there and they don't really care. They don't even know their rights, and that's what I think about this thing. What's going on there? So I think they should, speed up and say something about it. And now is the time to say it.
Yeah.
And if they say it now, they will get compensation.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that contribution.
Bye.
Yes. The minibus drivers protocol still exists in terms of the 10 passenger limit. Maybe this is the time to bring back that conversation. So let's see what happens. I know there is an association. There are lots of individuals listening that could have a direct impact, Ministry of Infrastructure, etc. So let's see if we could get everyone back to the table and have a discussion in terms of the protocols for the minibus drivers. I'd like to say good night to Jerry Georges. Thank you for logging in. As usual, always tune into the show. Let me see if I get another message there. Okay, I read that already. Good night to my cousin Melissa. Good night to you and your husband Curtin Emmanuel. You guys are logged in. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I've already responded to that. Okay, let's check on also the Facebook platform. Someone is saying, bring back ASP Cyril to train some of them. And you know, I need to reach out to Mr. Cyril. The last time I saw him, I was at the Janou Credit Union. I didn't recognize it was him, but then eventually I said, is this Mr. Cyril? And he said yes. And I missed on that opportunity because at that time, I was conducting some urgent business. But I know this is a gentleman I need to bring onto the show. As an ex-police officer, he has this legendary status concerning him, and I know there's a lot that he could inform us about history, how it was back then, etc., and the policing strategies that they had to employ back then to deal with various criminal elements of society. So I'm going to reach out to Mr. Cyril and have him on the show. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, someone is saying during the weekend, so true, Zachary. During the weekend, bar owners would blast music, but thanks to COVID, most communities are at peace. Best thing since COVID. And that's an individual here who just cannot take on the noise pollution, and he said best thing since COVID. Okay, so lines are still open, 4533-911, 4533-911. You could WhatsApp me, 7200-401, 7200-401. You know, people, as we continue on with realizing how serious it has been in terms of gun violence in the country. We have a call? Oh, we have a call. Okay, good night. I didn't hear that phone ring. Good night, caller.
Mr. Zachary, good night.
How you doing, buddy?
Well, not as good as you.
Yeah, I'm not that good, you know, but I'm trying.
First thing first, I made the show. But I just came in there.
Okay.
You had to have some homework for us to give us some report on a number of things. Did you do it tonight?
Such as, no, I didn't do it tonight because I didn't think I was going to have a show. I'm not too well.
Okay. Not too well?
Yeah, I'm not too well, man. I don't know. I have this issue with my throat. I might have to see a doctor.
Oh, okay.
On Saturday, I'm kind of host.
Okay, but drink some honey and thing, man.
Some honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get some tomorrow.
Lemon thing and you'll be good to go.
Lemon and honey.
And don't do the bad things. So this is since you couldn't report first, I'll give you a break tonight, but at the same time.
Yes. Is there anything bothering you right now?
What bothers me? That's the Illegal Firearms Act. Oh, by the way, when you have guys, right, for firearms, do the police tell the firearms to fire whether they have involved in any activities?
Yes, we do a thorough investigation.
Okay, and okay, I didn't get you there.
Mm-hmm.
You do a thing, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, and how long has that taken?
Well, it all depends. An investigation, when it comes to investigations, there's no real time limit, you know. It all depends on what you could uncover at the time. So there's no, you cannot really put a time limit on investigation.
Okay, but if the guys have to go to court soon and firearms are involved, how do you all do it?
I don't get you.
If the guys in firearms have to go to court soon, how do the police investigate whether these guns have been involved in a number of shootings?
No, but caller, even if, remember, we could arrest somebody for being in possession of an illegal firearm. Okay? Yeah. And then whilst the investigation does not end there. Because whilst we have charges individually before the courts, okay, during our investigations, a lot of other information can come up reference to that same firearm. So taking somebody to court doesn't mean that's the end of an investigation.
Okay, because alright, now I had an issue to the difficult. Mr. Zachary, I know the police and the prisons, they go hand in hand.
Yes.
Now I think I don't know who we can talk to, but see, those guys that drive in those bodily vehicles have to be a little more careful, my brother. Tell me what happened to us yesterday. One of the vice correctional on it. I mean, if you're going to drop prisoners or whatever, or inmates, I don't say prisoners, inmates.
Yeah.
From the course to bodily. What is the need to rush? I mean, vehicles, I mean, you know how it is. The road is bad on that side there. We have the main road. A guy wants to overtake, he put on his siren, and we come down, all those write us off. And that's the first thing that has happened is those bodily vehicles. So I'm asking you, in your capacity, talk to the bodily chief. But you know what that took me? I didn't take the vehicle number yesterday. That's
okay.
All.
Okay.
But Mr. Zachary, tell me what might happen. And I'm not asking that to happen though. I don't think it's not to get hurt. But the driver should get hurt because of foolishness. You cannot blare your siren and want to overtake in a corner. I'm sure.
In a corner?
Yes.
Yeah, putting on the siren does not give you the leeway to drive carelessly, you know. You know, it does not give us the leeway to drive carelessly. What the siren does is assist us in informing other road users that we're on our way or we're on the road, and that those individuals should find a very safe place to pull over and allow us to pass. But you're correct. We should not give us a leeway to drive carelessly when they have the siren on.
You only get the guys caught cut down town. You leave early, and when you want to approach town, you put on a siren. You leave early, but you have to go and put on a siren about the people right of you.
Sometimes it's not possible to leave early as you would like. You know, lots of factors come into play. The preparation of the prisoners, the amount of prisoners, a lot of things come into play. So not every time they're able to leave at a particular time. That will be considered.
Maybe see what you can drive. But the guy may drive backward track because I'm dependent that they don't have in the government. Because I'm sure I mean, take it easy on the road because you don't carry animals, you carry human beings on your vehicle. And if they get I would know who will be in charge for kicking them. Does the guys have insurance while they're on the prison bus? These things have to be known. You can't be driving prisoners to court and then driving in a mad manner.
Yeah.
I see the police vehicles, fellas have their foot hanging by the police vehicle. And then the police one, have you sure?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be, and by right, no police is supposed to be sitting in any police vehicle, okay?
Yeah.
Because it is not right. The same way you're telling people to just sit on behind people when you're driving, something goes to the police. I mean, child keeping at homes. All people supposed to be inside the vehicle.
Yeah.
Your insurance should be in the vehicle, okay?
Okay, caller.
That guy, have a good night.
You too, buddy. Thank you for calling.
Right.
I'd like to say good night to Arina Misol. Good night to you. Thank you for watching the show. Someone says here, so why not mandatory sentences for illegal firearms? Another individual saying, I was saying the AC is not good for you. Now, if it's too cold, it's better for you to drop some sweat. Okay, and this individual, Marceline Flavius, told me when I go home to drink something hot. So I'm going to do that. Shane, you know, I think we have one of our youth that has done so well. We have a call, Shane? Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Hey, Isaac, good night. How are you?
Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm trying to be okay, man.
All right, great show.
Talk to me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I noticed that there's a trend that has developed with the motorcycle riders. For some time now, these guys ride their motorcycles in residential areas. And I'm not against motorcycle riders. However, what happens is that they rev these bikes unnecessarily while riding them.
Magic word there is unnecessarily. You are correct, caller.
And sometimes you have people who are sick at their home. You have elderly people. And these bikes, some of them give off noises that could appear to sound like gunshots. And that could make an elderly person jump at their home, give them a heart attack and kill them. Because the noise is that heavy. Sometimes it's close. I live in a particular area. I don't want to disclose where.
Okay.
For 2 or 3 weekends straight, there was this young man who just insists that he has to drive throughout the community, including a Sunday morning, 7, 8 o'clock, and he's just making noise with his bike. Just making noise. Revving the bike whilst he's riding, revving and revving. And he was passing in the area one time, and I thought about stopping him and saying to him that it's not the best thing because he may be disturbing children in the area, people who are sick, people who are bedridden, hearing that noise. But I say, you know what? Some of these guys, you cannot even say anything to them because they're going to want to think that you want to stop them from riding their bike and you want to be against them. But I think it is something that the motorcycle clubs, the presidents and the members should sit down and discuss, because this is totally unnecessary to have all of this bike revving to allow just that the bike moves. It does not require all of that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm not sure if there's any legislation that I know of the noise pollution, but again, you don't have any instruments to measure anything. But I think it is something that the bikers need to know, or they should discuss and, you know, do these things discreetly. I mean, you're on the highway, you want to make your noise, all well and good, but in residential areas,
yes,
you can't be riding those motorcycles and be disturbing people like that.
The police just need to challenge them, you know, caller. There's nothing wrong with having a discussion with them. And do you know, sometimes, caller, the ones who are doing all those unnecessary revving and noise, sometimes they don't have their documents in order, you know.
I know. I know. I understand.
That's why we have to challenge them.
And I mean, I was not even speaking about it. I touched on the fact that people may be sick at home.
You're right.
People with heart conditions.
Yeah.
Hearing those loud outbursts from those bikes suddenly.
Yeah.
It could just make matters worse for them. You know?
Yes.
Until after that, prisoners cannot be caught up in traffic because you don't know who's waiting to ambush.
That's
and
right.
Get them out.
Yeah.
So the sirens, people need to adhere to them.
Yeah. It goes both ways, caller. It goes both ways. You're correct. Yeah, it goes both ways.
Tell him that. Because one time I was told of an incident where a fire truck was seen heading out of the city and sirens were blazing, and there was this young lady who was, you know, she was, these firemen always in a hurry, they always,
wow.
You need to find out it was her house that was on fire.
Yeah, I was shocked to hear someone actually saying that. Seriously.
It was her house who was on fire. She fainted when she got the news.
Oh my goodness.
She fainted on the spot. It was her house that they were going to take out. So as much as people are sometimes inconvenienced by those sirens, it could be your own family that they run into rescue. So as much as possible, we need to take heed and pay a little respect to them. I will never say that the police officers are doing it deliberately, nor the firemen, because you don't know what the situation is. So when it is convenient, as you said, make way for them, let them go.
Yeah.
But anyway, great show, continue.
Thank you so much, caller.
All the best.
Yeah, you too.
All right, good night.
Yeah. And Shay, you know, I'm feeling a little better as that, oh, there's that feedback, as the AC is off. So I'm wondering if that AC was really, we have another call? Okay, let's take that call. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Thank you for calling. Talk to me.
I want to speak to the same topic that your last caller just touched on.
Yeah.
And sadly, I'm joining the show late.
That's okay.
But hearing his comments, it came two ways. I'm a motorcyclist. I'm also a past president of a motorcycle club. I've been in the field for over riding, I would say, a good 32 plus years on the streets of St. Lucia. And the noise level and what happens with biking on a whole, yes, there's no question about it. Measures of control need to be, how could I say, put into action that are there, challenging as you mentioned. And I agree, if someone is in any forum is behaving erratic for whatever reason, the police has a right to question, stop and say, hey, you know what the case may be. And then as you alluded to, there's some of them, if not most of them, I don't know, I cannot say that, I don't know what stats they have reported, that are actually illegal on a whole. But let us look at why is this happening.
Okay.
Number one, the cost of bikes. Good bikes cost a lot of money. You know, you're talking 23, 25, 36. You know, the motorcycles on this island that range of $64,000. Bikes cost money. And then, of course, there are bikes that are not up to par, that cost little to not that much money. Now, the ease of riding through traffic, the mindset is one that's there, and you see that freedom of play your hand, so to speak. But at the same time, we have to understand that a lot of these guys who are riding and riding that way came out of the same issues we're having socially, so to speak, the mindset, you see. And unless there's something to curb the mindset, and like I've said it in the past, and I believe what needs to be done one, more challenging, to use your word, is important. More roadblocks, more checks, more stop. Let me see what's up with you. Who are you? You know, you're riding a motorcycle. It doesn't look that well, you know, in the sense of how you maneuver it, or the lights, or the this or the that. Which goes the same for vehicles as well, because there are many vehicles out there that don't have the right lights. So it's a two-way street. But at the same time, you have more of an issue with biking. You had, when the government pulled on the defensive driving, that all drivers who had their license for a certain amount of time had to go and do this crossover.
Yes.
There's also the other issue of the permit. A lot of guys, I think, even getting motorcycles insured through permits. Permit to ride. You pay for that every 6 months or whatever it may be. And persons are going through that. So from the legislation standpoint, or the laws, the acts that are there that allow these things to happen, all of these things need to be looked into to curb the situation of what's happening. Because again, these persons have permits. They've not necessarily gone through a certain training.
Driving.
It needs to be there to change the mindset.
Okay.
Now, if that is not there, you're going to continue to see what you're seeing, and it's only going to get a little bit worse. And I like to call it the BET syndrome. Speaking of television and the influence of television and Instagram and all the medias and all what you see guys doing all over the highways and byways of the U.S.
I see.
And so on and so forth. You know, but at the same time, we have to look at what we have here and how we do control it. Now, your caller spoke of the noise. To a certain extent, the noise on a bike is a plus. Because the same way the siren, and you have an issue with sirens, so as much as I agree with the caller 100%, paying respect to sirens, I'm also an EMT, so I say more, I understand the importance of that. But at the same time, how loud are your sirens? And do the officers, both for the fire service and for the police, know how to use the siren? I know some of you guys may say, well, what I know, there's a course in driving an ambulance, just for driving it. Okay, the same way policemen learn how to use the different sirens. There are at least 3 minimum different codes of sirens that you would use depending on the situation and what you're doing.
I see.
Right? So it's understanding how to do that. But at the same time, you have an issue with the sirens on a lot of your vehicles that are not loud enough.
True.
And sirens bounce. And if it's faint, it's even worse. That means you have to really get close to the vehicle
for them to hear.
With AC light.
Yeah.
Music is on, probably tinted, you know, and some people don't pay attention to their mirrors as much as they should while they're driving. So there are a lot of things that we have to look at from the traffic standpoint. But I believe for motorcycling, something must be done, and it must be done sooner rather than later. Because your stats show that there was, I think, was it last year or year before? You know, the amount of persons who died. You know, it was outrageous.
It was ridiculous, yes.
It was, indeed. And, you know, I think your team, meaning the police, traffic department, and I know a lot of the guys, and I always give my little stick in that field. I got stopped as an advocate. I got stopped and had to pay a fine for a particular wording, a positive wording, a wording that speaks to a higher being. But it cost me $500. And I was like, wow. Everything intact, but it was like this officer literally passed through 3 bikes, stopped that man and said, I'm starting with this one. What is good on the number plate? That's a fine. Not even a discussion, nothing of the sort. Now I can sit and say, wow, look at me, an advocate, and I'm getting stuck with something on the law that, okay, ignorance of the law is no excuse. But, you know, bossman, take that thing off there right now. You get all bikes, everybody helmet down, coats, jackets, you know, gloves, the whole 9 yards, all paperwork in order. And you feel like, wow, you get stopped in a roadblock. Yeah, you had something that was off. But then again, the feel for me, now, the more the police book guys, the more the police stop them and see them. And when I say police, let me just say that your SSU department don't view themselves as traffic department. They'll see a bike pass there, no helmet, no nothing. Kitemi say pass it. Now, I'm not saying they're probably not going and do something, but that's the mentality. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I have a lot of police friends. I'm telling you, that's the mentality. Now, all of these little things have to be looked into. Because policing is all the way around. It's not because I'm affiliated to this branch, I cannot do this. You know, it's like a bandman can't make an arrest.
Yeah, I check what you're saying. Yeah, we're all police officers.
Yeah. So we have to respect the police at all angles. The police themselves have to do their part, but we and civilians don't have a place to play. The organization I'm affiliated with has been looking for a track. We've been granted an area to utilize and so on and so forth, but even the funding behind it is little to non-existent. But at the same time, you have a drag strip that was taken away for good reasons, I guess. But something must be provided because you have a lot of cars on the road and younger people getting licensed, younger people watching more Fast and the Furious. You don't want them to be trying this out on the streets. So it's the aspect of a sporting, look at Barbados with a sporting culture, a motorsports culture, which is also surrounded by sports tourism. You know, so all of that, and we have to be advocates for that instead of saying, you know, them fellas, why they find a place, why they arrest them? No, why don't they give them a place to go and wheelie and have fun and show off? And you come down and watch guys for the skill. Everybody has a skill in something, and some guys, that might be it. That might be what takes them out of the ghettos, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, you're right, Caller.
They might be performing somewhere in Martinique or be called to show off.
You're right.
You know, so we have to look at the avenues outside the box thinking. But as usual, sorry I missed the start, but you know,
thank you.
As usual, keep doing your do. But we need to be advocates for that aspect, for motorcycling training, development of the mind, and an area to enjoy the sport as well. You know, I think more of that needs to be done. It's been neglected, and then we may see a change in the culture. A lot of the guys who get bikes and pass away been riding for less than 2 to 3 years. I'm sure if they do it, they'll see, because they get the bike and they get a 750, and it's, oh Lord, there's no stipulations as to when you can move to whatever or what you can ride when you just start riding. It's just a 1,000. I just got my license. I passed the test. I buy a 1,000. What do you think is going to happen? I'm having a good time. I tend to drink. The road has dust on it. You know, so many.
All right.
Brother, have a blessed one.
Thank you so much, Caller, for your contribution. It touched on so many aspects, and it was a whole multifaceted contribution. It was excellent. Thank you so much. That's our last caller for the evening. Quickly, Shane, just put up the picture. I think we have a picture of Mr. Tariq Xavier there. I won't be able to read everything, but he received Outstanding Youth in Athletics Award. So Mr. Tariq Xavier, who's the son of Sergeant Xavier down in Dennery. So let's see quickly. Promising athlete from the community of Peru Vieux-Fort. He's the son of Laura Shalry and Khalid Xavier. He attended the Peru Combined School, Vieux-Fort Comprehensive School, Butler Community College, and will be enrolled at the University of Arkansas in Pine Bluff in the fall. So this one is doing excellent things. Some of his proudest achievements thus far, we know Island School Games 2019, 1500 meter champion, and JCAA Cross Country Championship All-American 2020, Carifta Games 2019, 1500 meters, 5th place 2019. This young man believes he can impact the youth in his community in a positive way, because he's an example that don't always go unnoticed. The kids in his community see him running on mornings and afternoons, and they understand that with discipline, sports can help you have a better quality of life. If it wasn't for running, he may not have a lot of the opportunity he has today. And most importantly, running has given him the opportunity of a free education. So I want to big up Mr. Xavier, Tariq Xavier, on your award from the Youth Awards, Outstanding Youth in Athletics. And the very last thing, we also have the Grosley Northern Youth Sports Council Awards. The awarded student, Lyndon Constantine of the CARE, that's the Center for Adolescent Renewal Education. They awarded him a tuition scholarship to continue his studies in the Adolescent Development Program at the center. Mr. Constantine has displayed outstanding levels of dedication towards his education, and is currently undergoing trials for selection to the St. Lucia National Under-15 football team. The council wishes Mr. Constantine all the best in his endeavors. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight. Hopefully next Tuesday I will have a guest, but you are my guest for tonight, and thank you for your calls, your contributions. Those of you on the Facebook streaming platform, those of you who text on the WhatsApp, those of you who call in, you guys were amazing. Thank you for supporting the police. We will continue to do what we have to do to hold the hand of the citizen, the law-abiding citizen, and make St. Lucia a safer place for everyone in St. Lucia. So until next Tuesday, stay safe and good night.
Boost your commercial success with Embassy TV and Embassy Social. Don't look back. Invest in your advertising. Reach your target audience at peak times and off-peak times. We deliver strategically placed advertising spots at the most competitive rates. Also ask about our production services, which include television ad production, jingles, and documentaries designed to suit your business needs. We also deliver